This is Year 7 English Elite, and this our first lesson, Term 2, Module 1, and today we'll be looking at the Introduction to Poetry and Freytag's Triangle. So, exciting work today in English. We'll be looking at the concepts of poetry, some of which you will know already, others you may be hearing for the first time. So, we've got poetry is the best words in the best order. That is a statement by Samuel Taylor Coleridge, who's one of our great poets from the past. He's a romantic poet. And today we'll be looking at a number of poems, some of which are from that time. We're going to start with a little excerpt from a poem by Alfred Lord Tennyson, who's a very famous poet in the 19th century. So if we have a look at this lovely poem, it's called The Eagle. So I'm just going to read it for you first. Actually, first of all, we're going to read a dictionary definition of eagle. Eagle in... Hi, Year 7. Today we're going to be going through the workbook for Module 1, and basically what we're going to be doing is I will give you some possible answers and help you work through these questions. What would probably be best is if you have a look at this first on your own and then come back and work through it with me, okay? Because I would like you to have a go at doing these questions on your own first. Alright, so you should be looking at the workbook for Module 1, and we've done our spelling. So the first thing we're going to be looking at today is the two poems. So what you're being asked to do today with this first activity is to actually think like a poet. So basically you have a version of a poem here that has some of the words taken out. Now the original version is on the next page, but I don't want you to look at that yet. I want you to have a go at choosing words that you might put in there if you were writing this poem. So what I will do is I'll read through the poem. I will provide some space where the words are missing. You can fill in those words, and then in a moment we'll turn over the page and compare your version to the original version. And this is not a right or wrong activity at all. This is just, we have such a big choice of words.
Term 2, Module 1. Students, let's have our lesson booklets ready to go, and on page 1 you can see we are beginning with algebraic fractions, addition and subtraction of algebraic fractions. Let's fill in the missing words. So if denominators are the same, simply add or subtract the numerators. If denominators are different, then rewrite each fraction with a common denominator. Then add or subtract the numerators. So same as before. If we look at the examples, and before we do that, sometimes we need to simplify if needed. Okay, if needed. Sometimes it's not always required. So our first question, I can see the denominators are the same. So